All right, Golf Pit fam. Welcome back to the Golf Pit, the place where everybody gets better. Come on in, have a seat. Today we're back in class, okay? We're talking takeaway. I know it's your guys' favorite subject. I'm gonna give you a real easy way to check and understand the takeaway and then make sure you're doing it correctly. When we're talking takeaway, we really refer to about the first quarter of the backswing, okay? The takeaway concludes at the set position. Right? This is a position that you guys hear Adam and I talk about all the time. It's a position around where the hands are around waist high, the club is fully set with all the leverage created, and the hands are right in front of my body, okay? This is presetting everything in my golf swing. I could move forward and hit a solid straight shot right where I'm looking. I could turn back a little bit, a lot of it, and I could move right back where I came from and again hit a super solid shot. So this really is an important part of the golf swing and is going to be one of the first dominoes in the movement of the golf club that gets you striping your shots better more often. Okay. Now here's what we're really here to talk about today. I want to show you exactly what to look at to figure out what in your takeaway needs to be fixed. Okay, so there are two important things that I like to look at in the takeaway. Number one, I'm going to put them I'm going to illustrate them a little bit here with these lines on the ground. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an alignment rod on the outside of the golf ball. Okay, and then I'm going to put one at my feet. All right, and really these two lines are really important. The yellow line is going to signify and symbolize the path the club head takes on the way in the backswing and in the takeaway. Okay, so the club head is the club path. That's going to be one component of the takeaway, but it's only one. There's another really big component, this orange line. That is the path my hands will take. Okay, so we're talking about the club path and the hand path in your takeaway so you can figure out what's going on with yours. Now, again, I would say probably 7 or 8 out of 10 golfers we see get in here and they start to see the club get way behind them, all right? They start to see the club head move away from the yellow line very quickly instead of staying down the line longer, trying to stay as close to the yellow line as possible on the backswing, all right? So that would be the club head. If the club head is going inside like this and coming away from that yellow line, it gets underneath, it gets inside, I can now chunk it, I can hit it right, I can flip it over and hit it left, a lot of tough things from there, okay? But check this out. If I can get in there and I can get my club head just going straight back, right up the shaft, just staying, as I look down at this club, I'm gonna see my toe of my club stay pretty close to the yellow line right there, about the same distance, and then it works right up my hands, okay? Now, here's the thing and the big piece about the orange line. Everybody tries to fix this, and everybody tries to fix it by doing this, and taking their hands and moving the club more out. Okay, so remember how we phrase the takeaway. It's not hands out, club out, because now I've disconnected this. Now my hands have not gone down the orange line, all right? Now my hands are being lifted out away from my body, causing a whole nother mess of issues and timing to be resolved by the time I get to impact, all right? So the hand path is very important. The hand path is gonna be where the hands travel. Now here's the thing, guys. The hands are connected to the arms, which are connected to my shoulders. So as I turn back, my hands should travel straight back and then begin to naturally arc in, okay? They're gonna travel down a little corridor here, and visually for me, it's gonna look like they actually go inside this orange line and probably go over my shoelaces. That's what it's going to visually look like from this perspective, okay? That's going to be a connected hand path, one that's right in front of my body. We'll see people with hands that get way too deep. Maybe they've turned their hips really quick and their hands come way inside right away. Get way behind them, look at that, right? We see players that are trying to correct the inside takeaway of the club head and they start lifting their hands out. Both of those are incorrect. We want there to be a little rail right here, just outside of your right pocket, where your hands can just, boom, travel right down, okay? So we get in here, if I feel my club head move down the yellow line, if I feel my hands move down the orange line, what I should see is the culmination of that being the club work right up the shaft into my hands and then be pointed right on my forearm. where the butt of the club is at the golf ball or slightly inside of it. The big key I like to show for you guys is if you're doing this, grab a mirror, turn your phone around. The best way I found to watch the hand path is to watch the butt of the club in the takeaway. The butt of the club will stay right where it is in a connected takeaway. Okay, it will stay, it won't be lifted out. If it gets lifted out, it starts to go in. It won't be ripped inside because of a premature turn. Okay, it's gonna feel like it goes, and you can literally look at it right down the line. It stays. When I take this away, we can watch this. Can't tell you how many hours I've spent in the mirror just watching this gray little cap and going, okay, looking at that gray cap, watch it do nothing. And look at what happens there. Gray cap just does nothing. And because of my grip and the leverage I've preset in my setup, right, with the proper grip, the club head will work its way without me doing very much at all right up the shaft, all right? So again, there's two things that work in your takeaway. Number one is gonna be your club head and your club path. Number two is gonna be your hand path. So make sure you know the pitfalls of each. If your club head is going in, well, check your hand path. If the hands are going in, you may have an easy fix. Maybe you just get to keep your hands more down the line. Boom. Now those things work together and they get right to that spot. If your club is going in this way though, and all of a sudden your hands are moving out, we gotta do something else. We gotta make sure the hands stay more in and the club stays more up in front, okay? Again, as the hands stay the same level and that little string or rope goes right over the butt of my club, look how the club gets to parallel to the ground just outside my right leg. What a great checkpoint. And then I keep moving a little bit and I get some pressure into the grip and I get the full hinge, okay? Watch it again. The butt of the club is just gonna stay right where it is. I'm gonna use my body and my chest to move the club back right there. Awesome. Again, you would find a first checkpoint where the club would reach parallel to the ground and the hands would be right where they started basically from the down the line perspective, and you would push a little bit more into it and you'd get this full hinge. Wow, very, very different look there. Very, very consistent. This is the path to the least amount of manipulation for your takeaway, okay? Which really leads to the path to the least amount of manipulation on the downswing. From this great set position, as you guys know, club head down the yellow, hands down the orange, boom, I can just turn, and I can hit it. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope you understood and learned a little bit more about how to diagnose your own personal takeaway and see what's going on in regards to your hand path and your club path. And again, the goal of those to get to that sweet spot, that set position where now our golf swing is almost, I would say, 75 or 80% of the way complete. From there, we get to turn it and we get to be aggressive, and only good things are gonna happen, all right? If you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe, let your friends know about it, and we'll see you next time.